Good evening, North Avenue Presbyterian Church. You know, it's an honor to stand here before you and tell you a little bit about my story and my journey that brought me here. But before I start, let me tell you about an interesting quote I heard on the radio a few weeks ago. It was an on-air conversation with a politician and a radio host. And after the politician finished her spiel, she told the host, "Evil never sleeps, so good can never take a vacation." Isn't it awesome that God never takes a vacation? Isn't it awesome that North Avenue Presbyterian Church never takes a vacation? That Clifton, Sanctuary Ministries, Reggie Jones, Mamie Grant, Peter Huntstigger, Brenda Gales, Prince Davis Fan, and Miss Alice Jenkins never takes a vacation. Well, I guess I never dreamed of standing in front of a congregation and telling them how I became homeless. But life does happen. About 10 months ago, I found myself in the Atlanta area, having spent over 21 years in the Marine Corps with no family, no job, and no income. Now, before you ask, I applied for over 200 jobs. I went on numerous job fairs. I did more networking than the law allows, but to no avail. Without an ability to pay my rent, I knew it was only a matter of time before I had to move out of my apartment. So I started trying to call around, trying to find some relief. And after a few days and nights of temperatures in the low 30s, with no heat or power in my apartment, I got a call from a social worker who said she had found me a bed in a homeless shelter. That was like music to my ears. So I threw everything in storage and I went to Clifton. Now, for those of you who think boot camp was rough, try spending a few months at Clifton. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, Clifton was very comfortable, it was warm, and the staff is just outstanding. They try to pretend like they don't care, this really hard shell, Reggie. But after you've been there for a few minutes, it's pretty obvious that they care deeply. So I guess I could have spent my days wandering around, looking for places to eat, or simply just giving up. But I know God is not finished with me. So I decided to use my time there as best I could. I wanted to get as much done in a single day as I possibly could. So I continued to work on my resume with Ms. Grant and with Mr. Perry. And I went on interviews, I hand-delivered resumes. I went anywhere they were talking about a job, day jobs, anywhere. I signed with a temp agency, and I started waiting on tables. I cleaned up the park. I even gave tennis lessons. Whatever it took, that's what I was going to do. And I finally got a permanent job parking cars. That was about an hour and a half walk, train, bus, another walk away. But that was okay, it was a job, right? And I was pretty happy about that. It's the first step in getting out of homelessness. Now, serving in the military does have its advantages. There are some programs you can take advantage of that are very beneficial. I knew at some point I wanted to go back to school, and now it seemed like a good time to do that. But I had to find a university that would accept a 27-year-old undergraduate degree. At Clifton, it's pretty quiet at night. So I took full advantage of that by getting together my portfolio and all the other requirements to be accepted into Georgia Institute of Technology. I called some of my old active duty buddies and I asked them to write me reference letters. And just before the early summer session started, I was accepted into the master's degree program there. But on the first day at Georgia Tech, I was still homeless. I needed to find a place, and I needed to find a place fast. Even though I spent long hours at school, a typical day was probably around 16 hours, and that's every day, Saturdays and Sundays. Well, as luck would have it, that awesome social worker, the same one who called and told me that she had found me a bed at Clifton, called me and told me she had a place for me. You see, my social worker, Miss Nancy Zimmerman, she never takes a vacation. I moved into an apartment and finished this past summer session with 2 B's.
Bravo.
Not a great finish, but hey, considering the circumstances, I'll take it.
Bravo.
We're on our midterm break right now for the fall session, and I'm just loving it, man. I'm just loving it. 2 days off. Even though I have to write a paper, I have a park to design, 2 models to build, I have to work with a team to operate a quadcopter using only hand gestures. Yeah, go figure. But at least I can watch a couple of episodes of Law and Order now, right?
Yeah.
Well, my projected graduation date is the summer of 2016. And by that time, I plan to be a registered architect and a few other things. I'm also working on over 300 patents in piezoelectrics. I started writing most of them when I was at Clifton. You see, homelessness is not helplessness. Disability is not inability. Rest if you must, but don't quit. I pray that this recent chapter is just that, only one chapter in the book of my days. And subsequent chapters will bear true witness of the goodness I've experienced through my recent journey. I pray that I can only show the goodness to others that's been shown to me. You see, North Avenue, I never planned to take a vacation. Thank you, and God bless.
God bless.